Hey guys, so I'm about to go in and see Venom. I'll let you know soon. Have a good one. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Economics and Comics. So we just got back from Venom. And I'm here again with Joel and Mike Massey. They're from GoneWithTheTwins.com. They are movie critics. You gotta go check them out. First off, we still have that Predator giveaway. When we get to 500 subs, I'm giving it away. But the only way to enter is to go to GoneWithTheTwins.com and comment on their Predator movie review. Now, I'm going to have a giveaway for today, too, for Venom. I'm not going to tell you till the end. But again, comment on this post. When you go there to do the review on Venom, go to GoneWithTheTwins.com, do a little review. Might as well stop by Predator, get entered in on that one, too. And you'll be in for this contest. So anyway.
Well, I want to say thank you for bringing us back. Yeah, I'm excited about this one, particularly because we're coming at this from a completely different angle than you are. Not necessarily in how we analyze entertainment value, but
simply that we don't know as much about Venom.
I think
its origins or the comic book. The material.
Our familiarity with Venom really just is Spider-Man 3. With the little bits we saw of him in that film. So. There's a wealth of story that we won't be familiar with the characters and the names of the people who are involved in this movie.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people don't like Spider-Man 3. I mean, I like all of them, but that is more of a true origin. It's close.
It's more faithful.
It's closest to the real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't get.
Well, actually, in Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi didn't want to put Venom in there at all. And he was forced to do it by the studio.
Yeah, the studio.
So that's
never wound.
If you've ever noticed that, it feels a little weird that there's too much Sandman, too much Venom, not enough time for all of that story. It's because Sam Raimi was forced to put Venom in there.
And then you got this colossal 2-hour, 40-some-odd minute film. Yeah.
And I didn't know that. See, I don't know if you guys knew that. You probably figured he was supposed to be in there.
I mean, these people are fans of these.
Well, Venom.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Venom is the most popular Spider-Man villain, or the main Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, maybe Green Goblin.
It's up in the air. I think those two might be tied. I mean, Green Goblin's
one of the
oldest original. You could put Doc Ock in there too, but Green Goblin.
As far as this movie goes, the 2018 Venom, how close is it to the comics, origin-wise?
Well, origin-wise, it's not even close. I mean, they do what they can to. I mean, I guess it's close. I don't think this is really a spoiler, but they do talk about Eddie Brock and his past over the Daily Bugle, and that is when he was with Spider-Man in New York and all that. But the Venom does not come.
That's very early in the movie. They briefly mentioned that he is no longer alive
in the context of this film. There is really no connection to the Spider-Man.
But they try to connect it with that.
Do you think that they're trying to say that this movie comes after Sam Raimi's trilogy? And
I feel like they're starting fresh.
This is a new thing, but they're connecting Eddie Brock to the Peter Parker days. Yeah.
Well,
so that's how they connect it.
So one of the interesting things is after we finished watching this movie, I think all three of us kind of had the same impression that this was not as bad as we were expecting.
Yeah, well, all of the early reviews seem to be saying this movie is utter garbage, and it's really not that bad.
So there's some problems, but there's also a lot of positive things about it too. So I wanted to start by talking about the tonal elements of this film. I feel like, although a lot of it worked, there are certain points in this film where things just kind of switch, and you start feeling like you're almost watching a different movie. So the beginning of it, and I think our discussion, everything that's fair game is what's kind of alluded to in the trailers or shown in the trailers. So we're going to try to stay away from spoilers. Anyway, so at the beginning of the film, you get kind of this horror movie vibe. I felt a lot of like zombie movie elements in there, and the first maybe 25 minutes of this is very serious, and there's a lot of it's dark, and really almost at the 30-minute mark it switches, and all of a sudden there's humor, and it becomes much more comedic, and this is kind of when you start getting into the real Venom elements of the story. But to me it was almost like night and day. You get this kind of moment where all of a sudden there's comedy.
The music has a lot to do with that too.
The music
it's very much horror movie music for the first.
And it's in the trailer.
I like that music.
It's very Interstellar, Inception-y, right? With the
at the
bass.
beginning, the music at the very beginning before you see anything, I'm like, oh my god, I like this music.
Yeah.
Right before you see anything, and then it's and then I looked over and I said, hey Mike, it's like Predator, because you're getting this space thing. So anyway, we won't go too far, but yeah, I agree with you guys. What else do you guys think?
Yeah,
Tell me
and
more.
so to me, a lot of the horror film components of this worked well. I liked, and you see it in the trailer, when they're experimenting with the symbiont and the human the hosts, they're trying to combine them. You get kind of the twitchy zombie thing, and a lot of it is serious at those opening moments, and I kind of like that. And then when we get this shift, and you get the comedic version where Tom Hardy starts contributing a lot of the comic relief, it feels like a different movie, but it's also good. There's a lot of, and you were mentioning, there's a lot of Tom Hardy. It's a different caliber of maybe actor to see Tom Hardy in this role. It's something kind of unexpected.
There's one real quick I wanted to say. A month or two ago, I did, with a friend of mine, we did a review of the trailer, and we were both talking crap about Tom Hardy's voice and how he sounded like a little baby and all this stuff, and what, like Forrest Gump, what's going on? I don't understand.
Well, it's nowhere as bad as The Revenant.
So, yeah, you're right. So, the fact is, guys, it's nothing like that. I thought it was going to be like that, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. I could hear him clearly.
His performance is better than Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah, right.
What was he in? What is he?
He's the
He's the
villain.
main villain in Star Trek. In fact, that role, the movie was panned generally when it came out, and his role
the
received
critic
such
reviews were
negative.
so harsh.
It was so harsh. He
almost gave up acting.
Basically retired from acting.
Wait,
that almost derailed his whole career.
Yeah, he almost gave up acting.
Yeah.
His girlfriend broke up with him. The critics just panned him. Yeah,
Kind of like Eddie Brock. Right?
Yeah.
See, like,
So-
seriously, I had no idea. Like, that's two things now I had no idea about. One, he said that they kind of threw Venom into Spider-Man 3. I didn't know that. And then this Nemesis Star Trek, I had no idea.
we have high hopes for the audience, though. I mean,
So-
you guys are going to be
you
well
guys
versed
know
on
all
this,
of
right?
this.
No, they have. You
They're
guys
put you
don't
to
have
shame.
any idea. Get out of here. No, these guys don't know. But, and you're saying horror vibe. I guess I can see that, and I agree with you guys. But I feel more of a sci-fi feel than anything.
It becomes that way
Yeah.
significantly as the movie, progresses.
Because I've seen plenty of sci-fi. I guess it could be a mix. Sci-fi.
Oh, sure.
I had a question for you. In the comic books, is Venom ever the good guy?
Yeah. So initially, Venom starts off as angry, trying to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah. So again, our
Because of
familiarity
Eddie.
with the character is what they show in Spider-Man 3.
He
where
always
Venom's
seems to
only
just
the
be a villain, yeah.
Venom's
Yeah,
just the
and
villain.
he is always a villain. But that's the thing about Venom. He's both.
Yeah.
And so in the newer ones, though, he's like he's a hero.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're trying to do with this. He's trying to. It's an anti-hero of sorts.
Yeah, and I
That's
mentioned
what
this
it
too
is.
after the film. It reminds me a little bit of Suicide Squad because you're taking characters who, in the comic books, are the villains, and it's very difficult to get behind just outright, relentlessly evil people. So here we have a character that we think is the villain, but of course he can't be completely villainous, otherwise you would never root
Well,
for this
the
character.
other idea too is though that the Venom is kind of an evil being, and Eddie Brock is the
Yeah, so you have a nice duality. It's almost
They
like this
combine,
is
so.
the devil on his shoulder, right? And he has to be the angel on the other side, trying to negotiate who does what. How evil are they willing to go? How righteous are they willing to get? Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
the
these
idea.
guys
Yeah,
do.
the idea is that nobody else is, your audience perhaps, a lot of them have not seen the movie yet. So.
Oh,
we,
well, I know
we
that.
don't want to
but
prevent people from watching this by
No,
saying
no.
something. Yeah.
Well, I could
so
say
feel
one
free to
thing.
watch this without having seen the film.
No, and I would say, look, guys, if you're like concerned about going to see it because of all the bad reviews, look, I was too. But you know what? And like they were saying when we walked out, the lower expectations I had, the better it made the movie. And they were right. The movie wasn't actually that bad. And I kept leaning over saying, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Although,
the trailers were pretty bad. The trailers looked bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
And,
they've cleaned things up in it. And the CGI was good, I thought. I mean,
well, some of it.
the problem with all these movies that we have seen together so far is when there's fight scenes, it gets lost.
yes.
Yeah.
But when it's
Well,
just the
when it's
thing-
just the Venom's, the goopy thing, it looks amazing.
Oh,
it looks
it's
great.
The tendrils and the
Yeah.
sludge stuff.
Symbiote.
Yeah, really
this is
interesting
what
stuff.
we see in
Yeah,
comics.
yeah. But
I mean,
once
it's
it starts
all-
getting into the action of him fighting all kinds of things, then it starts to.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one of the most exciting scenes. There's a car chase scene in this film, and it's in San Francisco, and so you've got those streets that are just very up and down. This is undoubtedly there's some great stunt people involved in this, and there's well designed. The problem is the editing, and this happens in so many modern films. The editing is so choppy. It gets so fast paced. You've got a single shot of a car driving down the road, and you cut it 40 times so that you get it from every different angle, and it speeds the thing up, makes it feel like it's faster and more energetic. It's
I
energetic.
don't like
However,
that, though.
No, it
Yeah.
takes away from.
However, so for us, it takes away from the impressiveness of the stunts themselves. There's some great stunts here, but I don't think we can fully appreciate them because the camera cuts before you can kind of see, oh my gosh, that was a real car flipping over. There's real motorcycle stuff, but when you get to this really, really fast-paced,
it's a bit like
editing,
the
it
camera work in Taken 3, where they have to cut 100 times that you don't have to see Liam Neeson actually throw punches because he's
but
too
see,
old.
So that makes sense because Liam Neeson can't actually do all of those stunts. Here, I feel like you've got stunt drivers and you've got motorcycle stunt drivers, and those stunts you could have had longer shots.
There's the car chase involves a motorcycle too. I think we've seen that in the trailer.
Well, yeah,
there's a lot of CG going on.
I can tell you what though, that chase though was a lot longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, no, it's a well
and
constructed
there's
chase,
a lot of
but
fun stuff going on.
Because
in
it's
that
in
chase.
San Francisco, of course. They gotta make it long. I mean,
the parts of that chase that were practical looked great, but once they start
So
throwing so much
you can
CG
see
in
the destruction looks good because cars flipping over and landing on each other and crashing each other. That's all real. It gets
Spoiler.
choppy though.
No.
Yeah, it gets choppy though when Venom starts shooting his tendrils out, and then you start wondering, well, wait a minute, what element here is real and what's not? And again, almost all modern films do that. A lot of.
No, I really liked the way Venom looked, and
Yeah, he's always been a really fun-looking character, fun design, I thought. And here the CG is making a lot of use of that.
I know originally when they first showed the first trailer, he was like way extra slimy, and everyone was all upset. And they definitely cleaned it up. And I've been reading a lot of reviews, and they didn't see these, but people are talking about. It's just Venom and Betty talking crap to each other over and over and over again. It's not really that. And then another review I read just really fast was that it's like going back 10 years to an older action movie like the first Hulk or something like that. And I can see that because he's like a Hulk type figure, he's very strong and unstoppable. But I didn't think they really jumped back too far. I think it was a pretty clean movie, and I liked it, I guess. I mean,
yeah, I didn't get a sense that this
10.
movie belonged 10 years ago or anything.
No, and I read that, and I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe they're comparing it to like Spawn, because if you've seen the original Spawn, Spawn has all these different like powers, and he can like his cape comes out and blocks things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are
That is
similar.
one of the problems kind of inherent with these characters is that we don't know the extent of their power. What can Venom do and what can he not do? It almost seems like anything that he needs for any situation, he can create it out of his arms, and it's almost like a Terminator T-1000 or something.
Well, that's basically how he is in the comics, and in the newer comics now. I don't know if you guys have been reading the Donny Cates run. I mean, there's a lot more going on with Venom now. The abilities he has that no one ever knew before, but they keep it to the original abilities, and that's what's good about.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised that Venom is not just this nonstop CG monstrosity.
Yeah.
We get kind of a sense of who he is, what his character is like. And again, I mentioned that this duality of Tom Hardy being kind of the good version of Tom Hardy and Venom's the evil version, but of Tom Hardy. You don't really get the sense that Venom is just this, terrible, merciless creature that is, sucking the life out of Tom Hardy. You get kind of, there's this back and forth. They're like a comedy team, and they kind of play off.
And that's how it is in the books now. Right
Okay,
now,
yeah.
they talk to each other constantly, and they in the books now. They love each other. They can't be without each other, and they save each other, and they need each other. But that's from over time being together.
Well, see, and this is, again,
symbiosis.
having only been, witnessing Venom's appearance in Spider-Man 3,
Sure.
we were only thinking, going in, well, he's the villain, how are they going to make him sympathetic?
Yeah.
And oddly, the beginning, Tom Hardy's character, as the normal Eddie Brock character, is very unsympathetic. I feel like there's things he does where I'm like, gosh, this is the guy we're going to be rooting for? And so then when he gets taken over by Venom, or when that symbiosis occurs, I thought, okay, so now is he going to be the straight-out villain, and who's the good guy in this film? Is it going to be Michelle Williams, or what's going on here? But so it took a nice turn. I like that. I originally thought this was going to be an anti-hero who's just more villainous than I could possibly get behind. I think,
It's the other way
as
around.
it develops, you realize, okay, it is suitable that Venom is an anti-hero. There is some redeemable qualities to him, perhaps more so than Eddie Brock, who makes a lot of mistakes in the film, particularly with Michelle Williams' character, the girlfriend, and I forgot her name already.
No, I don't remember her being anything else, and I hate to say it, but she reminds me of like Tracy Lords or something from Blade. I don't know why they
I
picked
think
her.
she's an Academy Award winning actress.
Ooh, sorry.
She was wearing like a schoolgirl uniform or something for no reason.
What was that? She always had this weird schoolgirl
Yeah,
outfit.
she's
on.
supposed to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right.
she's,
So-
yep, she's a lawyer.
Yeah. Another point of criticism that I wanted to mention was I thought the dialogue, the first maybe 20 minutes of the dialogue seemed really, really generic. There was a lot, so there's a scene in a lab, there's a tour for the children, for the life laboratories, a lot, and then the conversation between Michelle Williams and Tom Hardy's character. There's a dinner scene, and then later a romance scene in the bedroom, and all of these moments are very expected. They kind of hit all of these beats.
This is an origin story, so
Yeah.
it falls into some of those pitfalls
Yeah.
where they feel like they have
But
to
what I
show
wanted to say
certain
was
things.
that first like 20 minutes, I kept thinking, wow, when is somebody going to say something I haven't heard a million times? But
Yeah.
it gets better, especially when the comic elements start to appear. I thought it became more creative.
It's not bad him talking with
Yeah, I did
Venom,
take note
kind of arguing
the
with
I
it.
first-
enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not overdone. I didn't think. I think they kind of did it
In
about
the
right.
beginning, the first thing I noted that was very different was when Riz Ahmed's character, who plays the kind of the unscrupulous doctor
Drake.
character, he mentions fake news, and I thought, okay, so they've
They've
really
updated the-
added, this is now becoming contemporary. But to me, this was one of the first times I thought in this fantasy of a superhero movie.
This is the
Now
first
we're
time I've
starting
heard
to
someone
draw.
say
Yeah,
that.
we're starting to draw from current events into it, and it makes it feel
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Can we not
contemporary.
have the politics out of our Marvel movies?
Talking that the tribalism that's going on in current politics is spilling over into pop culture and it's spilling over into things that
Tragic.
Yeah, it's like the sacred comic book world, and
That's
yet it's
right.
being corrupted to some degree by outside influences. It's kind of a shame.
At the
really.
same time, though, I mean, they've been doing it since the beginning of time,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Vietnam, everything's been in
A lot
comic
of it's
books.
a parallel for what's going on in
Yeah,
the
like,
modern world.
you know, and,
This
and
is
like,
an avenue to vent frustrations
like
and
X-Men
to
is
bring
all
up.
different type
yeah.
of people that aren't
Perhaps
fit
what
in.
perhaps what
you
it
know.
is an opportunity to discuss real world elements.
I don't
without-
think they were discussing anything except all they
Maybe
wanted to
it's
do was
meant to be
throw.
thought-
Throw a jab
thought-provoking.
in there.
They just wanted. It was like a jab.
Yeah.
It was like a jab, or it wasn't. It was either pro jab or I don't know. It was that was the only thing they really talked that was political. Just those two words, fake news.
You are fake news.
I didn't see.
But it's interesting that a simple two-word, utter, it can be.
It threw me right out of the movie.
It sounds very alien in this
Yeah.
film. Just all of a sudden you hear this line of dialogue and it pulls you out of it. You're like,
No,
oh,
yeah.
I'm not
See,
watching. Am
it's
I watching
unfair.
a movie? What's going on
It's
here?
definitely unfair because you're right. Because we're watching a movie, guys, and the guy says fake news, and you instantly go from watching a movie to Trump. I instantly thought of
Yeah.
Trump and the news, and I'm not watching the movie anymore. And I
It
didn't-
is a bit of a distraction, which is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it was only
yeah.
5 seconds worth of what.
But
Oh,
anything
yeah.
anything to pull you out of a movie, especially a fantasy movie like this.
Why would you do
damaging.
that?
Yeah,
That is true. I think that's
because this
interesting.
movie you already have to suspend your disbelief to a pretty
Yeah,
big
I mean-
degree because it's space aliens and
And
superheroes.
whatever, for both reasons, for you guys that don't really know the comic book world that
Right.
much, and for me going in there, look, I already know the origin and what's going on, and they're kind of doing a new thing. So it's difficult we're both in our own ways trying to attach to the movie and understand it, and then we both get pulled out in
Yeah.
different ways. It's really
Yeah.
weird. I don't want to go too far, but it's
Yeah.
we're,
Whoa,
we're,
how do we get down that avenue?
He's
Sorry,
psychologist.
I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about comic book movies.
Damn it, we're good. No.
So what's the major takeaway? The movie's not as bad as everybody's saying it is.
Yeah,
Still has issues. but
There's a lot of good things, a lot of cool things going on in here, and then there's some problems too. But I think we all went in with lowered expectations, which helps because then we can kind of appreciate the things that they get right even more so.
Yeah, and I liked it. I mean, I didn't like. Whoa! Thank you, God. You really until it gets into MCU hands, is when we're really.
It's a really bizarre kind of
transitionary.
yeah.
period,
But it's not
we're,
going to
we're,
be. It's
we're in
gonna
this
be a
weird purgatory
trilogy.
here because Marvel doesn't yet own this. This is a Sony Columbia release, and so they kind of keeping things separate a little bit, and it does feel a little bit weird that this isn't officially an MCU kind of a chapter.
But it wasn't bad.
I mean, it was a lot better than Suicide Squad.
It
Well, this
happens.
isn't DC, so I guess we don't have to compare it to that. But
Yeah.
all in all, not as bad as we thought. I don't know if that's high praise or anything, but
I would say go see it if
Yeah.
you're.
especially if you're into these characters.
I was
mean,
ready
it's-
to tear it apart. I was walking in there going, "Oh, when we get home, I'm just gonna tear this thing apart." But I'm here and I'm like, I'd rather hear what these guys think because I thought it was good instead of just me going off. So I think Tom Hardy did a good job. I was expecting worse, and I gotta want to tell them all the spoilers, man.
Don't do it.
Let's just say you need to start. I mean,
Well, stop right now, and then we'll do a coda that's spoiler only.
basically start investing in anything that has to do with Venom and symbiotes. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to talk really fast, like last time we did the Predator giveaway. I'm gonna do a giveaway today too. I'm gonna basically share this video, comment, but go to their site, gonewiththetwins.com. I'm gonna be giving away the Danny Cates Venom #1 Mike Mayhew convention exclusive. That is a lot of words. MegaCon variant. Okay? Let's see.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be giving this away. So
And this is signed by Tom Hardy.
This is
So this is the giveaway. Go to gonewiththetwins.com. Wait a couple hours if I post this. Go tomorrow and comment on their stuff while you're there. Comment on their Predator video too, because there's a NECA giveaway. So when we get to 500 subs, because we're getting there fast, I'm gonna give away this. I have 2 other comics to give away, and I have the Predator stuff to give away. So make sure when you're at their site to comment on this Venom review and the Predator movie review. That's it.
Well,
thanks for
You
inviting
guys
us.
liked it then, or what? Enough to recommend to go see it?
Gotta read the review.
Okay. Yeah, go read the review. So see you next time, guys, and we'll talk later. Okay? Bye bye.